I built the stock exchange for As you may know, Fortnite just released Diamond Hanz, aka the Stonk meme guy.
When you get downvoted, but you live in Australia, so it's upside down. Stonks.
So I thought it'd be fun to build the New York Stock Exchange in Fortnite. This way you could go in and take photos with your brand new Stonk skin, maybe even make some day trades and rake in the money. Today I'm gonna show you how I built it, I'm gonna teach you a cool technique, and I'm gonna leave you the code for this little map. Let's go to the moon! Now some of you may have already seen me streaming this build. I really love streaming builds live, so if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my streams. Now one problem I had this morning is I woke up to go and get some of my replay files, and there was a little update last night, so they were all corrupted. But luckily, my friend Snownomus, who's an amazing map maker, has a trick to recover replay files. He has saved my bacon so many times with this trick. So guys, be sure to use Snownomus's code in the item shop as a big thank you from me. Okay, so one of the first things I always do before I start a build is look at reference images. So for this, I Googled New York Stock Exchange and looked through a bunch of different photos that I could use to help me in my build. Then I looked through all of the galleries and prefabs to find the pieces that are gonna make my build really pop. In this case, I found about 90% of my pieces in the dark tilted galleries and a few from the Art Deco galleries and agency galleries. Now it was time to start building. Now with buildings like this where there's a lot of repetition, you really only have to build one little section and then you can copy and paste that across. That's what I did here at the bottom. I built one little section, then took it off build to prop, so it was really easy to copy and it only took a few minutes. Now before I go on with the speed build, I want to teach you a quick trick. So now when you have building to prop off, everything snaps really quickly to the grid. You can build really easily. Versus when you have building to prop on, then you have to be more precise about where you're placing things. But now here's a quick little trick. Say you need to use building to prop on to get just like the perfect angle on something. So you've lined something up to have an angle like that. Maybe you need it on both sides. And then I don't know, maybe you even need to like resize something. I don't know, put a ledge like that. Maybe even throw a prop on or something. I don't know. But now you need to duplicate this a million times going up. Well, there's a really easy way to do that is you highlight it, turn building to prop off, and now everything goes back on that grid so you can copy and paste it really easily going up. Or maybe you even need to like have it come over here, snap down, and you can do all sorts of things with this now because building to prop is back off. That's a simple little trick to help you speed up your builds, and I use this a ton on this build. I'm actually using that trick a lot here on the front of the building because there was a lot of awkward angles on the building that I didn't want to have to build over and over, so I just built it once and then I could duplicate it building up. Then it was just figuring out the right sizes for the columns and the windows behind, and then I really like doing the top of the building. I felt like this really turned out. It's just finding the right props and resizing them to fit what you want. Now that the front of the stock exchange was done, I wanted to build some of the buildings that surrounded it so it felt more like it was in the middle of the city as opposed to just this block building that was sitting out in the middle of nowhere. These buildings are actually pretty easy to make because they're mostly just rectangle and I could just copy and paste the same window pieces. It really wasn't too complex. Now one thing that makes these buildings a little bit more interesting to look at is that it tiers up as it gets taller. So it just adds a few extra lines that make it look cool. I decided to add one more building to this build so that it just felt a little bit more like you're in the middle of the city. And I used a slightly different piece on this one just to add a little bit of character to the buildings that were surrounding it. I had about 15 minutes left and I decided to make the interior of the stock exchange. So I built one of the stock market desks using the circle trick for the screens on the top. Then I quickly built a simple room where I could put the desks down and people could run in and act like they're trading stocks or something. And there you have it, guys. There is the New York Stock Exchange. You can run up, you even have flight permission so you can fly around and look at the build closely if you want, but you can go in either the doors on the right or on the left. Oh, I forgot to show you this cool little entrance that I made. I think it's cool at least. But you can go in and you can get your stonks up to the moon. The code for this is in the description below. Thanks for watching and good luck on your stonks.